Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Dr. Jocelyn, the Assistant Director for the UMatter program located at the University of South Florida, St. Pete campus. Today, I'm going to share some information regarding our program. And one of the best things is our application period is currently open, and it's open until January 15th. And I will go into that and explain so much. And I'm so excited that you're here. We're going to start off with a presentation that'll give you an overview of our program. So we are called the Eileen Hoffman Hafer UMatter program, and we are an inclusive post-secondary education program. We're located on the St. Pete campus of University of South Florida, and our program size will be growing to about 15 to 20 students. Currently, we only have 7 students, and we're hoping to accept 7 to 10 more students for our fall 2022 cohort. Our campus is about 4,500 students. 85% are undergrad, 12% grad, 3% non-degree seeking. And we have over 80 different student organizations and clubs available on campus for students to participate on. Some of our campus highlights are our students, all USF students, can take advantage of a large public university feel while maintaining, we have small class sizes, the campus is smaller. So instead of attending a campus that has over 40,000 students, we have a smaller group of only about 4,500. If you're interested in touring the UMatter program and University of South Florida St. Pete campus, we highly encourage you to schedule a tour through the USF St. Pete's website. And if you do, please reach out to me or my counterpart, the director, Dr. Danny Dom Roberts, and we'll be happy to try and meet up with you and hopefully bring a student if they're not in class. And they can share some of the information about the program and what they have experienced. So just a little bit of how this all happened. There was legislation that was put in place at the federal level back in 2008. There was the Higher Education Opportunity Act. And this really started breaking ground for students with disabilities to receive assistance and help and opportunities in college and post-secondary institutions. Then that trickled down to the state level with, in 2016, specifically for Florida, we had the Florida Comprehensive Transition Program Act, and that really set the groundwork for the Florida Inclusive Post-Secondary Education Law. And this is where our program was able to be created. There were startup grants, there's student scholarships, and this all flows back to the Florida Inclusive Post-Secondary Education Law. Moving on to what UMatter is about, we have 5 different program requirements that we work on. We work on career development and employment, academic access and enrichment, campus and community engagement, independent living, and self-determination. And these requirements are not worked on in isolation. For example, our current cohort, our 7 students, live on campus. So there's some independent living skills that we work on, which will fall into self-determination. It may fall into campus and community engagement. Perfect example, the Tampa Bay Rays were playing at Tropicana. It was $10 ticket night. Our students wanted to go. So what did they have to do? They had to purchase their tickets online. They had to make sure they reserve seats together so they're not sitting all over the stadium. And then they also had to figure out what time are we meeting downstairs, outside the dorm, and then the route we're going to take to the Tropicana, and then the route we're taking home. So all those parts of planning are really independent living skills, but also part of community engagement. And I will be touching on the academic access, enrichment, and career development and employment in a few minutes. To give you an example of what our program looks like, we're a two-year program. So our cohort starts in the fall, and during that fall semester, our students will audit 2 USF courses. So they are in an inclusive classroom. They are taking classes with other USF students. They are auditing these courses, meaning they're non-degree seeking and they are not earning college credit. We also work on learning what's available on the campus as far as clubs and community activities. And the job shadowing, we have actually pushed that more into the spring because we wanted to get to know our students and how the students get to know the campus and what resources are available. And then we'll also be looking, as we move through the program sequence, we'll be looking at industry certifications such as customer service credentialing, retail management credentialing, because being able to talk to people, problem solve with people, like you do in any customer service field, are skills you can take into any career. And then we move into the fall. And again, it's repeated 2 USF courses, students audit. Again, spring 2 USF courses, students audit. And then in the summer, they get to, we continue to work on customer service and industry certifications. I also want to include that with the supplemental academic engagement, we have 2 different pieces that we work on. One is a topical workshop, and that is really geared to whatever the students' needs are. We work on goal setting, we work on budgeting. We also work on life skills like how to be a good roommate, because this is the first time a lot of our students are adulting. And then when I go out to the restaurants, because there's a ton of restaurants within walking distance, how do I do the tip? How do I make sure that if I give them a 20 that I get the proper change back? So all those type of life skills we're also working on throughout our program. Again, we're an inclusive academic, and we have inclusive academic and campus opportunities. This again just states that our students will audit 2 USF courses each semester. That's primarily the fall and spring. Summer, it's 1, because we're focusing on the job skills during the summer, and we're focusing on industry certifications during the summer. Students will be supported to participate in campus clubs and organizations, and including intramural sports and attending sporting events. Our students also are paired with mentors. They have residential coaches. It's very similar to a life coach that lives in the dorms. And then they also have an academic mentor. We are currently looking for peer mentors that are on campus to continue to work with the community and campus engagement piece. So housing opportunities. Housing is not a requirement with the UMatter program, but if a student is not going to live on campus, they are responsible for their own transportation, and that transportation needs to be reliable because the students will need to be able to make it to campus to attend their classes and to attend the meetings that they have with myself and with their academic mentor. So we have on the St. Pete campus 3 different resident living options. We have a resident hall, we have resident suites, and apartment style living. Our students are currently living in the apartment style. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath apartment, a split plan. So you have 2 students on one side with a bathroom, 2 students on another side with a bathroom, and then the central living space in the middle with a small dining set, small living room, and a kitchen area. Going back to the independent living skills, mom and dad aren't there. So it's the student's responsibility to clean their room. Are they changing their sheets and washing them every 2 weeks or every week? The bathroom has to get cleaned, so it's their responsibility to clean it. And one thing that we did at the beginning of the year is every Friday morning, because it just so worked out that none of our students had classes on Friday. So Friday morning was cleaning day and laundry day. And this gave us the opportunity to work on problem solving skills. So if you're going to do your laundry and you get to the laundry area and the washer and dryers aren't working, what do? All right, we go to a different floor and we try those. And then students have ID cards, USF ID cards, and there's they can actually have money loaded on them and they can use them on a few places on campus, and they can use them for their laundry. But there are times when you go to do your laundry, the swipe card doesn't work. So what's your backup plan? So some of our students, you ask them, what's your backup plan? Oh, I have quarters in my pocket just in case. So again, independent living skills that we work on a daily basis. And then also teaching how to clean. Great, you've got these cleaning supplies. And just because you spray a little bit on your desk and wipe that little circle area doesn't mean that your whole desk is clean. So we talk about taking everything off, wiping it down. And then also on top of that, we created a checklist of things that need to be done on the daily basis and then things that can be done on a weekly basis. And they're laminated and our students can check them off with a dry erase marker and reuse them, which is a wonderful thing. What does a day in the life of a UMatter student look like? Well, a lot of our students get up in the morning and they exercise. What does that look like? Well, some of our students are bike riders, so they may ride their bike down to the pier. Some of our students are walkers, so they like to walk around campus and downtown. We have a few swimmers. They use the pool, not lately because it's a little too cold. And then we have some other students that use the gym on a regular basis. And then once that's done, some of our students go get breakfast, but other students need to go to their class. And then once they attend classes, they go to the nest where the cafeteria is. And then they may have to meet with their mentor during that time, or they may have to attend a meeting with myself, or there may be a social event going on campus. So again, that's just, our UMatter students are a USF student first, UMatter students second. One of the expectations that we have is all our students engage in at least one club or organization. And I'll explain what our students are involved in a few minutes. But first, I just want to go over the outcomes. So what are the outcomes for our students? Well, our students will have an increase awareness of career development and employment, and they'll have the academic access and enrichment to support that. And then the community and engagement will increase along with the social skills and conflict resolution. Also, self-determination and independent living skills will increase. Each one of our students is treated as an individual, and we focus on doing career inventories, finding out what their strengths are, what they like, and doing some exploratory with some courses. And we try to have students enroll in courses that are in line with what their career pathway is. And then we also, our students will earn a career readiness badge, and I'll discuss that in a little bit, and obtain employment aligned with their selected program of study. So real quick, here's just some examples of student activities and support. So when I was talking earlier about USF classes and what are our students taking? Well, first year cohorts are always going to participate in university success, because being on campus for the first time, it's great to have a course that helps you navigate and learn things about the campus. Where do you go to get the newspaper? Where do you go if you have a cold? Where do you go if you want to study quietly? And where do you go if you need to print something? So the university success class helps with that. And then we have students taking everything from beginning Spanish to intro to environmental science, sex, health, and decision making, writing for the mass media, deaf culture, and intro to anthropology. And how were the rest of these classes decided? Talking to the students and doing a few interest inventories of what kind of like what career paths are they interested in. We have a student that was interested in news broadcasting. So in order to take those higher level courses, you have to start with writing for the mass media. We have a student that's very interested in working with the hearing impaired, so she took deaf culture. And then we have another student who's interested in, he's actually the picture of the sailor, that's him. He is on our sailing team. He is very interested in the ocean, oceanography, and fish. So he started off with Intro to Environmental Science. And then we had a few students that were like, I don't really know yet. I just want to learn about navigating the campus. So we started off with beginning Spanish. We also started off with sex, health, and decision making, and Intro to Anthropology. Some of the campus activities and clubs that our students are engaged in, I mentioned the sailing club. So the student that's involved with the sailing club, he has competed with the USF sailing team in North Carolina, New York, Annapolis, and he gets on the plane with his team and they fly to wherever the competition is, and they stay the night and then they come back after the competition's over. Then we also have students that are involved in the All-Star Dance team. They actually performed during the homecoming dance, and then they performed during our cardboard car creation boat races, which were occurring during homecoming week. We have the Marine Adventures Club our students are participating in. One of my favorites, the Puppy Raisers Club. And then usually around 5 o'clock, if you go out to the basketball court, you'll find our students playing basketball with other USF students. We do, I mentioned the topical workshops earlier, and that's a time that I meet with just the UMatter students, and it's very skill specific on what their needs are. So we work on goal setting, we work on looking at data. Okay, so how are you doing in your classes? Not doing well, let's look, are you handing in your assignments? No, I'm not. How many assignments do you have coming up? 3. So what's your goal? To turn in all 3? Okay, we'll meet next week and we'll discuss that. We also have a supplemental curricula, and what that is about, that focuses on increasing reading skills, math skills, social emotional learning like conflict resolution, how to talk to somebody you may be having an issue with, or even just problem solving. And then we also work on job skills. And then, as I said earlier, each one of our students has a residential coach, which helps them with navigating the campus and life skills, and it's like a life coach. And also the residential coach can make sure that the students are getting to their classes on time, and which is great in the beginning. We have academic mentors, which is very similar to a study buddy, and those academic mentors are in the student's class. So if the student is taking Intro to Anthropology, their academic mentor is in that class with them. And then they'll meet outside of class to go over assignments, to study for tests, or to work on an assignment together. We are looking at becoming a Best Buddies chapter, and so that could be coming down in the future. And I also want to say, one of the things I would say all our students really learned a lot is Outlook, because we use Microsoft Office as our main way of work. And then the learning management system of what the professors use is Canvas. So students will use Microsoft Office to type up whatever homework assignment it is, and then they go into Canvas and they'll upload it to Canvas for the professor to receive it. Well, we provided during our topical workshops the how-tos for that. How do you upload your assignment? What can you do in Microsoft Office? And then going back to Outlook, the students have to put everything they do in their calendars. So when are they taking classes? When are they meeting with their clubs? When are they going to the gym or the pool? Because if I need to meet with them, it's they share their calendars with me. So therefore I can go and request a time to meet that doesn't interfere with their courses or their study time. And so it's really, so that's another skill that all of them have learned. We have a website, which is amazing, and I'm going to get ready to do a quick walkthrough with that. But our website contains information, a frequently asked question area, our digital brochure, and then information on our advisory boards and our business advisory board. And at this time, can you see the web page?
Sorry, I was on mute.
That's okay.
I can see the website, but I cannot see the web page, so I'm not seeing the internet. No.
Okay,
Like
so
I can see your PowerPoint. I can't see the actual website.
Okay, thank you, because sometimes technology is not always on my side.
Yes, it happens.
Okay, so here we go.
There we are.
Perfect. Okay, so this is the UMatter webpage, and in order to access it, it's just usf.edu/UMatter. What can be easier than that? It gives an overview about the program and talks about the program goals, which I spoke about earlier. When we talk about the career readiness badge, there are 8 essential skills that employers look for when hiring interns or hiring new employees. And so we really focus on those 8 essential skills, and our career service center will be working on these skills with our students. After some training with these skills and working through the career readiness badge program, the students will receive a certificate just talking about that they've been trained with these skills. Right on our front page, we have our brochure and we have our application, which is now open, and it is open until January 15th. I highly recommend, if any family is interested in applying to our program, download that application as soon as possible and start going through it. There are quite a few pieces to it, and we will not reach out to families until we receive the entire application by January 15th. I also want to talk about underneath program application. It talks about who should apply. So we're looking for young adults that have a documented intellectual disability. They must be at least 18 years old, but we do not have a cutoff. So is your young adult 22, 23? Yes, they can apply. We do have some admissions criteria, and I would say the most important piece is the independent piece, because our students have to make sure that they can maintain their self-care, their own personal hygiene independently. If a student's taking medication, they have to be able to monitor their medication on their own. Also, they have to be able to communicate with a reliable source, which means, do they use a smartphone, email, texting? And then also, our students are held to the same standards that USF students are. So if one of our UMatter students violates the USF Student Code of Conduct, they go before the student review board. And also, students that are interested in our program should be able to display a level of social maturity that's conducive to the adult environment and employment and educational settings. If there's any questions regarding admissions criteria, we always encourage families to reach out to us, young adults to reach out to us, because we're more than happy to talk about UMatter, answer questions about UMatter. Frequently asked questions. I want to go over two questions that we get quite frequently. Do I need a high school diploma to participate in the UMatter program? The answer is yes. If you defer your diploma and you're going to continue to receive services through your local school district, that's wonderful and that's great. If you're interested in applying to the UMatter program, by the fall, you need to have exited the K-12 system, meaning you need to have gotten your diploma from your school district. So if a student's still currently deferring their referral on their diploma and wanting to stay within their school district and receive services, then the UMatter program will have to go on the back burner for a year. Then another question that we get is, what is the cost to attend the UMatter program?
Can I just ask a clarification question really quick
Please.
before you go on to the cost? So just to clarify, if a student applications are due by January 15th of 2022 for the fall of 2022. So if there is a student who currently has a diploma deferred and is working through ET or working through an extended transition service in their county, they are allowed to currently be in deferral, but the deferral has to end and they have to be graduated from their district prior to their start date in fall of 2022. Is that correct?
You hit it right on the head.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify.
Beautifully put. Exactly.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
You're welcome. No, great. That was a great question. Great way that you worded it. Exactly. So by the time our students are going to start being a student for USF, they needed to have exited the K-12 system. But
they can be a K-12 system student still and apply to be accepted.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The application piece does not affect the deferral piece.
Okay.
It's starting the start date of the program.
Okay.
That student needs to have the diploma in their hand.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So when we look at the cost of our program, this is this is the cost for the entire year. Each one of our students receives a scholarship of $7,000 each year. When you look at how much it is to attend the UMatter program for the full year, the two most expensive pieces are the meal plan and the on-campus housing. If a student is to commute to the UMatter program and have that $7,000 scholarship, their out-of-pocket expenses may be about $1,500. And then if they are a VR client, VR may be able to help support them with either the books or the lab fees or maybe even tuition. So if you're not a VR client yet, please talk to somebody at your school, in your district, get signed up with VR ASAP. They have a lot of resources to offer you. Okay, I did my VR plug because working with VR is extremely valuable and has a ton of resources for students with disabilities. And then actually now I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint. Hopefully that's my goal. Okay. We will get there. Okay, so while the PowerPoint's reloading, the next few things that I'm just going to discuss are we're going to be moving on to, again, as I said, applications are now open for the fall 2022 cohort. They're due by January 15th. Because part of the application process is once we review them, we also do an interview process before students are offered a seat in the UMatter program. So I highly recommend pull up that application, start looking at it, review it. And if you have any questions, highly recommend, again, reach out to us. Our team we have Dr. Dukes, who is the co-principal investigator and the faculty liaison. And then we have Dr. Danny Roberts-Dom, who is the director and co-principal investigator for UMatter. And then myself, Dr. Jamie Jocelyn, the UMatter assistant director. And again, we're always here to support and ask questions. We do have an open house coming up That's on December 13th. And if you contact your county representatives, they will have the information that they can share with you. I hope everybody has a great evening. And again, reach out to us if you have any questions.
You're still recording.
I'm trying, I keep clicking stop and it's not stopping. Okay, here we go. Stop recording.